What's going on, everyone? So this is going to be an interesting one about understanding, once again, and clarifying what I've been saying in the past few videos about who's in control here and who's following protocol, and how it's no longer Xbox gaming, it's Microsoft gaming. And Microsoft is now in the driver's seat of the gaming department. You see what I mean? It used to be where it was Phil Spencer, his team. Before Phil Spencer, it was other people, obviously, as well. Don Matrick just went so bad they had to move him out the way. Phil was always there, but he wasn't the head, though, or CEO of Xbox Gaming. Now, Satya Nadella is the one who's all in. Because a while ago, Phil Spencer was like, we need to go all in, or, step out. I don't want to do this, half-ass pretty much. And Satya Nadella was like, we're going to compete. We're going to go all in. So what we're going to do is we're going to backtrack first, and we're going to come back to this present, and I'm going to show you guys how Satya Nadella had the idea that you're seeing now years ago. We're going to go back almost 3 years ago. We ready for this? But let's look at this right now. This is what he said recently, today. Microsoft CEO commits to producing great quality games as Xbox expands. We got to produce great quality games. You have people with peanut brains saying that Microsoft is about to exit the gaming industry. They're just going to become a third-party publisher. It's like, that's not all they're doing. They're going to continue to make hardware, and they're not going anywhere at all. You have some people thinking that Sony, like this one guy saying that Sony won the war, and I was like, what war are you talking about? Just hardware manufacturer? Because that's not the future, and that's not forever. There's so many different wars that are going on. You got cloud war, digital war, stream war, not just manufacturing hardware, which is getting lesser and lesser and lesser. Uh, Development, right? Publishing, pro-consumer, right? But let's get ready for this.
Satya Nadella has finally answered back to Jim Ryan's statement about the regulatory branches looking closer at the Microsoft deal in purchasing Activision.
This was almost 3 years ago.
Here's what he said. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll tell you what he said in just a second, but first, if you could just real quick hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, and like the video if you like it before we continue. So, diving right in, here's the full quote, and then we're going to dive into the story. This is from the video interview. He said, "For us in gaming, we have one goal, which is to bring more games to more gamers on all platforms and provide..."
Let's stop right there. 3 years ago. For us in gaming, we have one goal, which is to bring more games to more gamers on all platforms. So whose idea is that? Satya Nadella's idea. You had some people, because this is what's important. They were trying to somehow say that this somehow was bad because Phil Spencer changed his headline to head of Microsoft Gaming instead of head of Xbox Gaming. Or they're trying to say Sarah Bond was this one person like, no, Phil Spencer's head. And it's like I told people, it's no longer the Xbox, and that means just the Xbox console and making exclusives there and selling hardware. No. It's about making the Xbox brand rich like the Microsoft brand. So whatever it takes to make it look rich, Satya Nadella is going to do, and he's very successful at doing that. He's not just looking at hardware and saying, oh yeah, we'll sell a few more million hardwares and then miss what? Hundreds of millions of dollars off of other consoles. I'm not doing that. I'm tired of seeing the Xbox brand look like it's not rich like the Microsoft brand. So it's not going to be Microsoft Gaming, and I'm stepping in. So it's the direction that he wants it to go. And he's been learning a lot over the last few years. And him and Phil Spencer have been close. It's not like they're at war with each other. They're not. They work together. Not only that, but Dustin, he's been getting attacked also by fanboys. Dustin's an awesome guy too. We're going to get to that comment in a second, but this is what he said. This is what Shuhei said. Shuhei Yoshida, you know that when publishers release PC games on multiple platforms, especially on PC, the number one market countries that their games sell are either, as we know, is US or China. Yeah, because China is a main PC market. Like I was telling people when they talk about games like Phantom Blade Zero and Wukong, oh, Sony has a PS5 exclusive. No. The exclusive actually is PC. Sony made a deal to get it on console, so they have to start developing it for consoles. But first and foremost, China is PC. Then you have mobile as well. It's not PlayStation. They don't sell consoles in China like that. Here's what I did not say in the post. I did not say they are going day and date to PC. I did not comment on any of their initiatives in China. I did not make comparisons to what Xbox is doing. You know what Yoshida did say though? Porting to PC is way cheaper than creating an original title. So it's almost like printing money. And it helps us to invest in new titles now that the cost of games have increased. For people who are trying to make fun of Microsoft for going third party, which actually that's not nothing to make fun of. If you were intelligent, you would realize from a business standpoint, it's what's the best. These guys now, today, just like the new guy in PlayStation and everyone else, they're all about business, and business means making the most money, not getting stuck on a hardware and unlocking a game there in that ecosystem where you could be making tons of other money elsewhere. The difference is that Microsoft is doing it with the IPs that they've monopolized, rather than Sony trying to do that by locking away other people's IPs and not making that much operating income because it's other people's success, and they're barely getting a little bit of that. And you have people saying, oh, Sony's getting 30%. Yeah, but Microsoft is getting 70% on somebody else's platform and making money off of their base. Like, it depends on how you want to look at it. It's all about how do you look at the situation. But let's get back to this also in a second. This is what's important about what Dustin is saying, because check this out right here. This is where I went, which is where I went down to, right? This is what he said. As someone all the PlayStation fanboys think should be taken seriously, y'all sure do get mad about my tweets, rent fee. He says. I had to like that because I know what he means. Oh man, they're going to be so mad at me for posting the thing Shuhei said again. And that's why he had to make these statements. But getting back to his video, let's finish this. This is just to give you guys an idea, because there's people that are really delusional. We know the Sony fan base has the most delusional gamers on the planet. Like I said, we need to make a special education pony section in the gaming community to put them on by themselves, away from the other gamers, because they're a little bit slow.
Provide more choice for publishers everywhere and developers everywhere.
Do you see what he said? Provide more choice for publishers everywhere and developers everywhere. See, this is about publishing and development. Like I told people, there's a new type of competition going here that is the future that you need to worry about. When they looked at Nintendo, Microsoft learned a lot, because they realized, oh man, they always win, but they don't have nowhere near the most powerful hardware. They don't make their prices ridiculous. But what are they doing that we're not doing, that PlayStation is not doing? Because they beat PlayStation really bad. And, PlayStation beats us in hardware. You know what I mean? Never beating us in when people are saying we have no games, but that's not the thing anymore. So what is the future? Hardware? You ain't making no money off of that. How? Sony needs to make profit right now. They're in trouble. Definitely with all those canceled games. So you think they're looking at hardware? That's just a vanity boost. If you ain't making any money and it's hurting your company inside, and you're giving people these fake numbers, like they said, we made 11 billion a record. What do you do? It wasn't no record for you to make money off of. You made nothing. You took home less than 800 million out of the 11 billion. You didn't even take 10%. You're trying to look for ways to make money. That's why you had all those live service games. You were trying to make money, and you lost all that money off of Concord too. And Microsoft's over here making. How did they make more profit than you? But yeah, you have all those hardware sales because you didn't make any money off that hardware. And they're making money off of their services and being a publisher. And they're about to be a massive publisher this year. Watch how much more money with Satya stepping in with Phil and all that. Watch how much money Microsoft starts making than Sony. Watch. Remember when I said this, the profit. They're not going to be able to hand it up, because then they're going to see they're losing in all those other departments. Because you got people that are so narrow-sighted. They have pea brains. They look down this one little section of hardware, and that's all they see. And they look at the vanity, but yet they don't really understand the real full picture. Because you got to get people that can actually do this. And I do this in everything, in every section in life for people, since I've been doing my videos, just like the Assassin's Creed coverage and a lot of other coverages. And you got these small-minded pea brains that sit there and want to judge you and criticize you, and then they realize they couldn't see when the real truth comes out, because they can't. Then they'll grab that and try to act like they know. No, you never knew. You never could see. You thought you knew what you were talking about. You didn't. Your ignorance blinded you, as it always has. I'm talking to people in real life and to people that are coming on my channel, and you know who you are. I'm way brighter than you. So let's continue here.
And so everything that we are doing with our content, with our cloud and community, really is all about driving
Driving
that
that
choice and that
choice.
opportunity. Sorry for the typo. So
That's
we
okay.
feel very, very confident. And of course, any acquisition of this size will go through scrutiny, but we feel very, very confident that will come out. We're number 4, number 5, depending on how you count in gaming. In fact, the number 1 player in this case, Sony, I think even in this period has acquired 3 companies. So if this is about competition, let us have competition.
He said this years back. And this is what I try to tell people. They never look at Nintendo as somebody that's in that space. Microsoft came in the industry to target Sony. They did. They've always had a agenda against each other. And it was when Sega fell. And we know what happened. It wasn't the right thing. It wasn't done rightly. And Microsoft took that space and went in. And Sega helped design the original Xbox. So, did you just see what Satya Nadella says? Because Sony was the one that was doing the monopolies. I was trying to do it, and Satya Nadella was like, we got way more money than you. Watch how we monopolize. And then people get mad because Microsoft came in and did it bigger than them, and Sony started getting scared because they're thinking 10, 15, 20 years down the line. They're like, man, consoles ain't going to be here forever. They're taking all the in-house. We're not going to have that power in the future. It's going to be in their subservice. When people turn it on and pick up a unified controller that can play Nintendo, PlayStation, PC, right? Because you ain't gonna need a PC hardware either, because this is all gonna be able to do everything. It's gonna be about what type of services are you choosing and what games do you want to play. Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, and all these other third-party outlets. EA already has their subscription service. Ubisoft has theirs. Sega will have theirs. You see, that's what it's gonna be. Or here's this little bundled service, unless the others don't want to do it. Nintendo will probably be one of those like that. Microsoft can do that too. And Sony can't move hardware in those times. But yet they're not making money off of it anyways. What's going to happen? And since you don't have your own hardware base, you're not leeching off a third party bragging about that. Now it's going to be, what can you do? Who's ahead in the future? Nintendo's already at the top. Microsoft already put themselves in a good position, and you're going to have to go through cloud to use them, and they're making money off of it. Anybody that's using cloud, Sony's cloud service, Microsoft makes money off of that. Idle money. People don't know that. See, there's a lot of things that they just don't know. And these people that think they knew what they were talking about before they came to my channel and other people's, you didn't know anything about any of this because that's how small-minded you are. And I'm talking to people in real life, and I'm talking to people that don't know what they're talking about. Always talking a mess behind your back, always mocking you. Dustin knows what I'm talking about because he's dealing with that stuff too. But yet at the end of the day, I'm way brighter than you. You're one-dimensional. You're an imitator. Who do you think you're judging? Yeah, sit down. Anyways, let's get back over here and let's continue to what Satya Nadella is doing. A guy who knows what he's doing. Made Microsoft the richest company, $1 trillion company in the world. He's a bright Indian. I give respect where it's at. You know what I mean? I'm not hating because I want to represent a logo on some other box. No, man. If you know what you're doing, then you know what you're doing. To him stepping out, watch how much richer the Xbox brand gets under Microsoft Gaming. This is what he said. Gaming has a long history at the company, and we want to be in gaming for gaming's sake. I hate to be in businesses where they're means to some other end. Think about this. He's not here from some means to some end. That means they're not going anywhere. As I've been telling people, when he stepped in, he's not stepping in to step out and say, all right, it's no, when he stepped in, they're stepping in together with Phil Spencer to make sure it's going to be as big as it can be and as rich as it can be. And it's not a means to no end. People ain't seeing 10 years down the road. You got people going back 15, 20 years because they can't cope. That's what they do. Right? Those type of people that I told you about, what they do, they run back 15, 20 years. Right? Oh, what you doing in 2007? Come back here. What you doing? Come back here. Face reality. Look into the future. Don't run to the past. You're running away. That's what's happening. They have to be ends unto themselves. For example, cloud gaming is a natural thing for us to invest in because that'll just expand the ability for people to play games everywhere. Like I said, Japan already has that going. Same thing with AI and gaming. We definitely think that it can be helpful. As the world's largest publisher, this will be helpful, but at the same time, we've got to produce great quality games. You can't be a gaming publisher without first and foremost being focused on that. And I'm glad he realizes that. So They still have some things to show about the AI presentation. One thing I will say, you guys have to do a little bit more with that because I think y'all going to get a backlash with that. There's going to be some people that are not going to agree with that. But if you show them that it could be very good and that you're actually still humanly making games and it's helping out and you're still producing that quality, then it's going to be fine. That's just me saying from the sunlight, like, do not let the AI kill the humanity in things. Keep that balance where it's helping, but it's not replacing human emotion and all that because it doesn't have a soul. So that's my thing with that. But if it's used correctly, see, it depends on the individual. It can be very beneficial. It's a neutral weapon. How do you want to use it? That's my say about that. But we see now who is in control and who's running the show. Mr. Nadella here is, right? Everybody has to answer to him. And he is about games. And he's a unified type of person. He wants it to be everywhere for everyone. He's not an egotistical lock it here and there. That's not the way his mind works. You see what I mean? His mind works completely different. We have to understand the individual who's leading things. You see? And Phil Spencer is the head of Microsoft Gaming. So, all you people trying to attack Phil, not knowing what you're talking about, once again, your misplaced anger. First, learn how things work. See? Intelligence over here is doing that. That's why I feel like I had to do this because I'm like, you guys don't understand what's really going on. So let's go back a few years and take a look at how we got here to right now and how things are working. So that's the way that works. And Dustin, keep up the great work. You know, he used to be at IGN, but he left. He wasn't a shill like them. He's actually an awesome guy. And because he says certain things, some of these ponies can't handle it, which I kind of find funny. I mean, we could go back to some other things. First, yeah, let's go to this real quick. Remember, Icon Era is not a parody website. You want to know why he says this? And I get on these guys every day. They're a bunch of losers. PlayStation should have an initiative to help Xbox players save their game library in the case Xbox hardware ends. You know, you would think after realizing how rich this company is, I just don't understand why people are this dumb. That they can keep making hardware to 2050 if they want. Because they're just so rich. And that they said that there's a next gen Xbox in development and it's been in development. Then you morons still make a comment like this. Like, guys, I don't understand why people are this ignorant. And I don't want to be in that mindset because I never want to think that that's stupid. But even Sarah Bond herself says, I've been looking at the new hardware, and it's going to be the biggest generation leap in certain ways. And Phil Spencer said, we're going to really innovate on the next gen hardware. And he says, I want to keep making consoles. Even before that, I want to make consoles into the 2030s. Because that means that if you have another console coming out, hear me about this when he said that, in the 20 era, which will probably be 27 or 28, and I want to keep making consoles in the 30s, that means in the 30 era, he wants to make a console after that console. And then you say dumb stuff like this, like Microsoft needs them when they're the ones that have been doing full backwards compatibility. Nintendo don't even do it. Now they're starting to do it. Sony started to follow suit with that. Microsoft has the best backwards compatibility future to help your library stay successful and get supported by AI upscaling. They're the first people to do that type of stuff outside the PC spectrum, where your library keeps going. Now Nintendo's doing it. Now Sony's doing it. The hardware carryover. Well, the Xbox One supported that full backwards compatibility, and people have been asking PlayStation to do it. And you're going to come and try to make that type of statement? What type of world are you living in? You are a moron to me. I have to say it. And I think everybody watching really realizes that because either this statement is intelligent or it's ignorant. Either way you spin it, it all means the same thing when you call people these different labels. Either to me, you're being smart or you're being stupid. Or you just don't know what you're talking about. And I would say you're being innocent, so let me help you out. But we know Icon Era is not being innocent. They're just being losers. So therefore, what I'm saying is not that bad. No, what they're saying is actually insulting and ignorant. And you're just doing that for clickbait and for feed. So therefore, you're going to come in and get criticized. Or a Microsoft hardware in. This is just dumb. They can't even save their own library, let alone the Xbox One, man. Yeah, okay, buddy. Just dumb stuff. What the F kind of post is this? Is this for homeless gamers now? You mean when? No, that's Microsoft's responsibility. No, like that's what I'm saying. Like even whatever the comments are, that's just to add in a little bit of entertainment. Like we just have to really understand. Like why do you make these type of posts? Like you would think that intelligence starts posting something, right? But then again, it's icon era, right? Yeah. All right, y'all. Let me know what y'all think. Now we have this out of the way. If people don't learn from this video, I don't know what to say. You got to see why things are the way they are now. What's the future and the way things are working. Not the way you want them to be, but how things are actually working. Understanding that people being lost in their ego and then being so feminine about it, have to run back to the past because they can't be right here. Peace out, y'all. Have a great day. Gamers, stay true. Don't be losers.